Hi, friends. I'm Emma. Welcome back to the show here on TLC Next Chapter. I see a police officer. I just know something is happening big time. And as it stands now, the courtroom drama has officially boiled over. Robyn Brown has just been caught lying on the stand. And the consequences? Absolutely explosive. This time around, Janelle and Meri aren't holding back. They're coming forward and dropping jaw-dropping secrets about Kody that have the potential to turn everything around. So, what did Robyn lie about? And why are Kody and Robyn so desperately trying to bury certain things? Stay tuned, because what is about to come will leave you reeling. Within the court, tension was at an all-time high. Gasp after gasp filled the air as Robyn Brown, hitherto believed to be the ever-devoted fourth wife in the sister wives drama, was caught in the act of lying during the midst of a fiery court struggle. More like a reality TV episode finale than a courtroom hearing. Janelle and Meri Brown, both ex-wives of Kody, stood strong, equipped with receipts, courage, and a determination to bear the truth. What they exposed rocked not only the courtroom, but the entire sister wives universe. It started when Robyn testified, seeking to defend what most people suspect is her strict grip on Kody, and what's left of the Brown family's failing financial dynasty. Crying in her eyes, Robyn insisted that she was unaware of the monetary decisions Kody was making. In her words, she had no say in the asset distribution, the sale of Coyote Pass, or any of the last-minute monetary mayhem. But that tale fell apart when Meri, clutching a pile of papers, revealed that Robyn had indeed been a part of it, signing off on several transactions in the 2 years. Janelle, ever the smartest when it comes to finances, dropped one bombshell after another. She revealed Robyn for concealing joint property deeds, moving money around in family accounts, and colluding with Kody to exclude both Meri and her from big decisions. She played the victim, Janelle replied unflinchingly. But Robyn was the puppet master. She wasn't just along for the ride. She was in the driver's seat the whole time. The judge adjourned for a moment to consider the fresh evidence, and the courtroom was suddenly silent with shock. Social media, however, went wild. Reddit, TikTok, YouTube, fans were all over the place, scouring old interviews and previous episodes where Robyn had most obviously contradicted herself. One season 15 clip came back around and went viral. Robyn saying she just wanted peace. But in the same episode, she'd confessed having private conversations with Kody concerning the future of the family behind everyone else's backs. But the biggest shock of all? A leaked audio recording, allegedly captured by Janelle, where Kody is heard telling Robyn they don't need to know everything. We'll handle it our way. That clip alone could completely alter the course of the entire case. Meri, often seen as the quiet, emotional rock of the family, showed up to court with a new fire in her eyes. She held nothing back. "I spent years being loyal to someone who never once had my back," she said, apparently referring to Kody. And now, sitting there watching Robyn lie like that, faking that she's innocent, it's disgusting. And more bombshells came. A string of documents showed money, lots of money, flowing into bank accounts in Robyn's name, allegedly for household expenses. But who were the recipients of those needs? It turns out that they included private vacations, luxury goods, and private school fees for Robyn's children. While other family children allegedly went without, fans are declaring it the ultimate betrayal. "Kody always had a favorite," wrote one TikTok user. "Now we see just how far he went to keep her safe, and how far she was going to go to keep herself safe, even if it meant lying under oath." This trial theater is hardly finished, but one thing for sure. The curtain of truth has been ripped wide apart, and the family secrets are unraveling quicker than anyone could have anticipated. The Brown family's tale has long captivated audiences with its complex relationships and polygamous arrangement, but in recent years, one thing has become increasingly apparent. Robyn Brown is the most divisive character of them all. Once viewed as the sympathetic newcomer struggling to get her bearings, now most fans are convinced Robyn has been rewriting history. And nowhere is that more apparent than in the history she's created about her 3 oldest children and their biological father, David Jessup. What's enraging fans most? The fact that Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna had their own lives and stories before Kody came into the picture. But instead of letting that part of their past exist quietly, Robyn has tried to erase it altogether. Apparently, she attempted to delete it entirely. From emotional cues to court documents, yes, even a haunting piece of art that still makes Sister Wives enthusiasts wince, Robyn's attempts weren't in vain. Even from the initial stages of her introduction into the Brown family, Robyn seemed intent on keeping her children away from their biological father, David Jessup. Although David was not publicly involved with the family, he was actually the father of Robyn's 3 older children. And yet, gradually, it became increasingly clear that Robyn was intent on erasing him completely from the picture. She allegedly approved, or at least didn't object to, his relinquishing his parental rights. After that, Kody Brown intervened, and the 3 children were legally adopted by him. What could have been a source of stability for the children became instead a symbol wiping away their origin narrative. But Robyn didn't stop there. She followed up by doing something that really shocked longtime viewers. Robyn gave Kody a personalized family portrait. In the painting, a younger Kody stood between 3 kids, obviously intended to be Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna. The catch? The timing was completely off. The photo painted a picture of reality that never existed. Kody as the children's dad from the beginning. Robyn had somehow rewritten the past, putting Kody in a position he never was in all those years ago. In reality, he entered their lives much later than they were already raised. That did not sit well, not with viewers and, allegedly, not with certain family members as well. Almost at once, most viewers spotted that the photo had a strange similarity to an older family portrait of Kody, Christine, and their children. Robyn's take? It had replaced Christine's children with hers and repositioned herself discreetly as the emotional center of Kody's history. Viewers referred to the move as manipulative. Others even labeled it disturbing. It was viewed as a desperate effort to create a memory and cement her place in the family's history. Even Kody appeared visibly uncomfortable upon Robyn's reveal of the portrait on TV. That moment gave life to Robyn's now famous nickname, Sobbin' Robyn. The title stuck after she tearfully unveiled the painting, calling it a sentimental memory she painted to depict their family. But rather than evoking sympathy, it made many in the audience uncomfortable. They didn't view it as a sentimental gesture, but as a strategic action, leveraging emotion to redefine relationships and control how the story of the family would be remembered. And this wasn't the only time. Year after year, Robyn has delivered tear-stained, emotive speeches to defend or excuse what she's done. A particularly memorable instance occurred at a family church service when she preached a tearful sermon about purity and marriage. Crying tears down her face, she confessed that she hadn't waited and felt deep regret. The message was unremittingly clear. She regretted not saving herself for Kody. To some, it was an insecure, genuine admission. But to many others, it was another veiled rejection of her children's real history. If she hated her past so intensely, then what did that say about the 3 children who were products of that past? Was she saying their lives were errors? Viewers couldn't help but question. It was then another instance of Robyn appearing to go out of her way to whitewash or rebrand her pre-Kody existence in an effort to have it fit better with her now-present persona. Naturally, one of the most dramatic and contentious moments in Sister Wives history occurred when Kody formally divorced Meri so he could marry Robyn. Officially, this was done so that Kody could legally adopt Robyn's children, giving them stability and a formal family structure. But fans immediately picked up on the deeper subtext. It felt like Robyn was being elevated above the other wives, not just in emotion, but legally, spiritually, and socially. And Meri's sacrifice? Absolutely heartbreaking. She stood aside, letting the wedding occur, for the sake of the children. But many felt it was just another calculated move in Robyn's continuation of solidifying her stronghold within the family structure. Flash forward to current seasons, and Robyn and Kody's other children are more evident in tension than ever before. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, Kody doubled down on keeping himself isolated with Robyn's kids, arguing they were the only ones who adhered to his stringent safety protocols. Rules indeed. But let's be real. It was on somebody else's tab. I'll take every gamble I should have taken previously with somebody else's money, one observer joked. At the same time, the offspring of Janelle and Christine, several of whom were already adults, began to drift away from their dad entirely. They felt excluded, abandoned, dismissed, as Kody devoted all his attention to Robyn's household, hardly visiting any of his other children. That schism was not unremarked. Viewers were quick to condemn both Kody and Robyn for intensifying the rift. Kody publicly complimented Robyn's children on their loyalty and respect, quietly suggesting his other children lacked spiritual devotion and family principles. It was favoritism, pure and simple, and it was all happening before millions of people on national TV. Then, disaster hit. Garrison Brown's death upset the entire family. It was a heart-wrenching reminder of how fragile family ties can be, and perhaps, more importantly, a wake-up call for Kody. During the succeeding days, he wept and showed a stronger intent to renew relations with his estranged children. Fans tuned in eagerly as Kody started making an effort to connect with Janelle and Christine's families again. Maybe he was beginning to realize the magnitude of what he'd lost. And Robyn's reaction? Not initially, not exactly. But not long afterward, she made a statement that raised more than an eyebrow or two. She and Kody would be taking yearly vacations to Wyoming, so her kids could start putting down roots there. To the typical viewer, that sounded slightly weird. Wyoming is not just any state. It is deeply emotionally significant to Kody. It's where he grew up, where his dad used to own property, and where countless memories with his first wives were shared. To some, Robyn's new interest in Wyoming seemed forced. Her children already had roots, actual ones, with their biological dad. Their childhoods were forged long before Kody came along. So for Robyn to now insist on this connection to Kody's past, it seemed to fans like yet another attempt at retroactively placing herself and her children into pages of Kody's book where they didn't belong at all. It was first the family photo, then the achingly emotional sermon, and now a symbolic family odyssey. At the heart of everything is one undeniable fact. You can't rewrite history. But that's not stopped Robyn attempting it. Whether by means of legal adoption, emotion-charged artwork, or well-thought-out family traditions, her streak is uniform. Robyn seems highly uneasy with her own history, and she consistently strives to substitute it with one that puts Kody at the very start. Her fans have certainly taken notice. Social media is full of posts analyzing her moves. Reddit comment threads, Facebook forums, and TikTok videos dig into inconsistencies, suspicious moments, and nuanced manipulations. One supporter summed it up plain and simple. Robyn doesn't want to be part of the story. She wants to rewrite the whole book. What is most disturbing is how this rewriting impacts the children involved. Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna are from another chapter, a different existence. That existence could have been messy, painful sometimes, but it was theirs. To act otherwise, to rewrite their history to a neater or more convenient form, does them an injustice. Children, like anyone else, should be allowed to have their lives respected, not cut out of a more sanitized narrative. Meanwhile, the divide between Robyn's kids and the rest of the Brown family has only grown. Robyn often presents her children as the most respectful, the most loyal, and the most worthy of Kody's love. Whether she intends it or not, the result has been clear: the marginalization of his other 13 kids. Some of those kids, particularly Janelle and Christine's, have come forward publicly about how disappointed and isolated they feel. They've watched their dad place one house over other ones, making them feel like an afterthought. And fans are not okay with it. To old fans, Sister Wives once depicted a family attempting, albeit imperfectly, to be one, loving and accepting. But that ideal has since disintegrated. Now, the show highlights separation, favoritism, and broken relationships, with Robyn frequently at the focal point of the mayhem. Sure, rewriting history to forge a more palatable reality is enticing. But ultimately, truth always manages to rise to the surface. Robyn Brown can keep trying to redefine the family history, but the audience, and even the family, knows the truth. They know who was first, who sacrificed the most, who spoke the truth when it counted. Robyn's efforts to create memories for herself might have earned her a spot in Kody's heart, but in the process, she lost something greater: the audience's trust. Her narrative is no longer one of family blending. It's one of family erasure. And in the universe of reality television, where everything is never really gone and every utterance lives on in reruns, reactions, and recaps, you can't simply hit delete. No matter how many pictures you put on the wall, how many speeches you give, or how many family road trips you make to Wyoming, the fact is, Robyn Brown did not construct the Brown family, but she may be the one pulling it apart. Merged families always come with their own set of issues. And for Robyn Brown, the issues came with decisions that have ignited praise as well as vitriol from fans and family members alike. In an attempt to create a more unified family unit, Kody did something legally that altered everything. He adopted Robyn's 3 children after he divorced his first wife, Meri, so that he could marry legally Robyn. This adoption enabled her children to adopt the Brown surname, reflecting their complete integration into the polygamous family fold. While the adoption was presented as a strong symbol of unity, it set the stage for a more expansive discussion, one that focused on the erasure of the children's biological father from their lives. There is one moment in particular that has been one of the most discussed moments in Sister Wives history: Robyn's gift to Kody. A personalized portrait depicting a younger Kody with her 3 children as toddlers in his arms. The twist? The photo was taken from an older family picture of Kody with Christine's kids, but Robyn had those faces swapped with her own children. Her defense? She termed it a created memory, designed to echo the emotional connection Kody had formed with her children. But whereas some understood this as a tender, symbolic gesture, many others experienced it as profoundly uneasy. Some viewers and family members received it as an unnerving attempt to reimagine the past. Gwendolyn Brown, daughter of Christine and Kody, wasn't shy. She likened the photo to a moment on The Office when a man awkwardly wedges himself into a family picture. Her reaction? It takes away our history. A phrase that struck at the very center of the complaint. By altering past memories, was Robyn trying to wash away significant aspects of her children's identities? Social media fans were equally polarized. Some felt with Robyn's effort to bring harmony in a mixed family. Others blamed her for attempting to erase the past of her children, erasing their link to their biological father and substituting it with an easier one. Robyn's actions, though in the spirit of the universal longing to unite families, also unveiled the delicate balance in creating new relationships while not eliminating old ones. In the context of polygamy, where the lines in the heart are already blurred, her insistence on portraying her children as part of Kody's history in every sense raised ethical and emotional issues to the forefront. The kids themselves, Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna, have also been forced to navigate this emotional labyrinth. As much as the show has pointed to sweet moments between them and Kody, long-term effects of rebranding their identities are uncertain. Adopting the Brown surname and participating in symbolic actions such as the portrait perhaps made them feel more integrated, but it also leaves one wondering if that happened at the expense of their original families. And that's where the moral implications come into play. By broadcasting such intimate choices to a national audience, Sister Wives obscures the line between private and public life. Robyn's choices, and the way they were delivered to millions, became a matter of heated debate. These TV moments shape viewers' perceptions of not only the Browns, but polygamy and mixed families in general. As the show continues to document their journey, it offers a raw, often uncomfortable look at the realities behind building a new family. Robyn's desire for unity is understandable, even relatable, but her methods, especially the symbolic rewriting of memories, highlight how delicate and controversial the process can be. It's a reminder that honoring where someone comes from is just as important as where you're trying to go. And just when you assume the drama is finally dying down, TLC drops a bombshell. Kody Brown is out. Yes, out. And why? Explosive new revelations are emerging, one that involves not only betrayal, but rumors of a premeditated murder scheme. The stakes have never been higher, and this time, the networks had enough. Everyone is now focusing on Robyn Brown. In a turn no one expected, Sister Wives gave us a scorching showdown, Janelle versus Robyn, and it's the fight that could redefine everything. In the newest installment of TLC's long-running reality series, the Brown family's previously entangled lives remain coming apart. What was once a plural marriage of 4 wives now sees only Robyn by the side of Kody Brown. Christine, Janelle, and Meri have each broken away, every exit leaving emotional wounds and ongoing tension. Janelle especially has not been shy. Annoyed by what she considers Kody's overt favoritism, she's spoken out more than ever. On a recent episode, Janelle lashed out at Kody's priorities, criticizing how he once equated Robyn with a model on a diesel jeans billboard, a remark that hurt considering how differently he treated his other wives. To Janelle, the message was unmistakable. Robyn was always the favorite. And what about Robyn? She's denied having any outsized influence over Kody. People think I've got Kody under some kind of spell, she scoffed. Like I've got him wrapped around my finger. It's absurd. But critics, and even family, aren't convinced. As if stress and broken relationships weren't enough, the family was rocked by a heart-shattering tragedy. Robert Garrison Brown, Kody and Janelle's 25-year-old son, committed suicide in March 2024. The tragedy shook the family like a shockwave, further plunging the emotional gaps already existing. On the May 11th episode, one could see a different Kody, a broken father devastated by loss. His voice shaking, he explained the waves of sorrow that came crashing without prior warning. Grief comes in like a flood, he said, and you can't run from it. For a man who had long been famously guarded emotionally, this unvarnished exposure was both shocking and tragic. Kody remembered holding Garrison as an infant, then biting back sobs as he recounted the somber process of bringing his son's ashes home to Wyoming. I just wanted to bring him home, he whispered. Bury him beside my mom and dad. Finish the circle. Wyoming, the state where Kody grew up, is rich in ancestral heritage. It's where he used to make memories with his first wives. Now, it has been the backdrop for a new type of pilgrimage. A mourning father, attempting to honor a son he'd become estranged from. Their estrangement creates another layer of sadness for the narrative. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Kody's rigid rules in the home caused huge divides, particularly with his older kids. Garrison, a strong-willed and independent individual, conflicted with his father's style and eventually opted for space. A space that never was closed. Now, Kody is tormented by all the words left unspoken. There's this crushing silence, he explained, moments that won't come again. Apologies I never gave. Laughs we'll never share. In the stillness of his garage, Kody has posted a poster of Garrison, a daily reminder of what's been lost. You have to teach your body how to move with grief, he said, how to make your blood sweet instead of bitter. Janelle, too, was heartbroken and went to Instagram with a black and white picture of her and Garrison. Her caption shocked fans with its candor. It's taken a long time to accept that in the end, we did everything we could. She spoke for so many parents of children lost to suicide, acknowledging that sometimes the brain convinces someone there's no hope, even when the world says otherwise. Still, she expressed gratitude for the strength of her surviving children, the lights that remain, so much to endure. With Janelle and Savannah standing together, the silence of absence is almost deafening compared to the leaves stirring in the wind. The terrain in North Carolina is supposed to be symbolism for hope, a possibility to actually seed something solid after all the years of rootlessness. But it also comes with the sorrow of never will be. He would have enjoyed it here, Janelle says softly, her voice catching on a sob. I wish he'd seen it. This moment, hushed and humble, tells us everything. It's not about loss. It's about the hopes a mother has for her children, the landmarks she envisioned they would share, and the deafening silence left behind when they are snatched away. For Savannah, almost 20 and still in shock from having lost her big brother, the pain is an everyday friend. It appears in tiny rituals, a message she can't send, a laugh that catches in her throat when she thinks about him not being there. The Brown family's history has always been complicated, entwined with polygamy, religion, loyalty, desire, and constantly changing allegiances. But this chapter, this is different. This is raw humanity. This is about heartbreak that transcends family politics. This is about a truth that no lifestyle, no set of beliefs, no fame, and no cameras can protect anyone from crushing loss. Since Garrison's death, Janelle and Kody have both publicly addressed the need to check in, particularly on those who appear fine. Kody, still clearly shaken, admitted in a tearful moment, he had a house, a job, plans. He looked okay. That's what hurts the most. TLC, realizing the seriousness of the situation, wrapped up its May 11th episode with a message that referred watchers to mental health resources, an unusual but influential gesture in reality TV. Viewers have inundated social media with their remembrances of Garrison. Favorite clips, screenshot tributes, and sincere condolences. They recall his sarcasm, his generosity, his affection for animals, and how he stood up to hypocrisy with a quiet, unassuming kind of bravery. His passing was not only a sad moment on TV, it was a shared sorrow. As Sister Wives begins this new season, the tone has changed. The drama still bubbles, but the tragedy has anchored it in something more profound. Vulnerability, redemption, reflection. This is no longer a show about plural marriage. It's about the beauty and vulnerability of family, and the way grief, all its darkness notwithstanding, can sometimes be the thing that reunites us. Janelle might never be able to get over the death of her son, but in the quiet courage that she displays every day, in her devotion to the other children, in the way she carries on with dignity, audiences recognize a new type of heroine. Not one who is marked by marriage or station, but by strength. "I know I'll see him again," she wrote, clinging to her faith like a lifeline. For now, she holds on to the memories, the photos, the sound of his laugh in her mind. And while Garrison's story ended far too soon, the love that remains, messy, complicated, enduring, continues to shape the story of this fractured, unforgettable family. Doesn't wait for ideal reconciliation. It doesn't bother whether words were exchanged or not. It just comes, rapid, savage, and relentless for Kody, standing at his son's grave in Wyoming, amid the mountains of his youth and the tombstones of his own parents. There was a muted reckoning. A man who had once commanded his family with confidence now stood uncertain, chastened by the kind of loss that tears at the soul. "He should have been here," he whispered, a sentiment reflected in every tear-stained face surrounding him. The ceremony was small, stripped of pomp. No rousing music, no grand statements, just family, holding hands, crying together, goodbye. And it was here, in this naked instant of shared grief, that something changed. For a family whose cracks had been broadcast to the world, there was, for one moment, harmony. The sadness that had divided them also held them together, if only for a moment. Christine grasped Janelle's hand. Robyn also stood in silence close by. Despite earlier hurts still unmitigated, they all grieved the same young man. Garrison was more than a son or brother. He was a strand that united them all. His loss creates an unmistakable void, one that even hours of screen time and making up can never fully replace. As season 19 goes on, Sister Wives is no longer simply a reality television program. It's evolved into something deeper. A family saga in all its complexity, flawed, messy, but deeply real. The mourning for Garrison's passing has brought levels of humanness to each of these characters. A reminder that these are not simply personas on a screen, but individuals. grappling with loss, shame, memory, and healing under the brightest lights they can be placed under. Garrison's life, unfortunately short, now becomes a legacy, a challenge to look past the cameras, to hold dear the little things, to say love out loud, to forgive when it hurts, to visit the ones who appear okay. And for the Browns, for Janelle, Christine, Kody, Savannah, and the numerous siblings who loved Garrison, that legacy is painful. A reminder of heartache, yes, but also a reminder of purpose. Because love, no matter how messy, doesn't die when a life does. It reverberates in every sunrise Garrison will not witness, in every empty porch he will never occupy, and in each tear that falls when his name is spoken out